After finishing this week's episode of Food Wars, I had a craving for instant ramen. I don't know, is it just me? Because, I mean, I'm a sucker for instant ramen. I mean, I know it's probably not the healthiest food or the best food to have, but when I saw, Soma cooking that in this episode, I'm like, I want some of this. I really want some stir-fried noodles or instant soba or whatever. I want, something like this. I want instant ramen to be able to eat. And, I might have to go get me some. I might legit have to go get me some later today just because of how I was starting to crave that while watching this episode. And that's the one thing I think I hate the most about this series is the fact that the food always looks so good and delicious, and when you're sitting here watching an episode, if you don't eat, obviously it's going to make you hungry, but then on top of that, when you see the certain food they make, you're like, I want that, I want to make that, I want to taste that, but you're like, yeah, I probably can't make that, so it upsets me. That's one thing that has always upset me while watching this show, is because some of the food looks really good, like what Nene made. Oh my god, I would love to have tried that because of the way it looked in this episode and the way the characters were reacting. But okay, so let's get on topic. Let's talk about what happened in this episode and how Soma achieved victory. So, Nene, obviously, when you look at both individuals as chefs, Nene had the advantage in this, Shokugeki. She is a really good chef. She is someone that really knows how to make soba and use the noodles and stuff to make the best possible taste. And when you look at the way the judges were reacting to each individual's food, obviously Nene's was eating more. They actually had like 3 helpings of it compared to just eating it once for, Soma. So it does show that, at the very least, Nene's cooking was definitely better than Soma's. But here's the problem, though. The reason why she lost wasn't because she was a bad chef or she did worse than Soma. The reason why she lost was because she was too restricted. She was someone that was set in her ways and couldn't, spread her branches, new roots to try new things, which is once again something that Soma is really good at. Something that he has done since the very beginning of the series. Always experimenting, always trying new things, and taking from others to add into his own cooking. And so in this case, the reason why Nene lost wasn't because she was not a skilled chef. In fact, she was insanely skilled, but she wasn't flexible, and she wasn't able to, change and, shake things up a bit to be able to counter what Soma was doing. For instance, the environment is what played a very big role in her losing. Because of the auditorium being very cold and all that, her noodles were not able to have that proper reaction, the proper aroma to be able to be displayed properly. If it would have been a hotter setting and all that, she might have won. But because of how cold it was and how big the auditorium was, obviously Soma's, noodles, even though they were probably not as skillfully made as hers, it made it to where his actually smelt better, had this aroma that came off it to where they actually wanted to have it. And so, at the end of the day, the reason why she lost was because she wasn't flexible, which is something that, is a problem with Central. Central, they want one certain recipe. You got to stick to a recipe. If you don't stick to it, obviously, you're gone. You get out of here. And see, that's the big problem with Central right now. They're not allowing chefs to be flexible and do new things, try new things. If it's not on the recipe, you do not do it. And so, because of this, we get to see firsthand of why Central's methods will not work if they were really applied in real life. Because if you have something that, cannot be changed, you will not have recipes changed, then that means that eventually you're going to come a time to where, it's just going to be very dull or not be as good as it really should be. In this case, that's what happened to Nene. So, yeah. At the end of the day, I say that Nene won, but she only lost thanks to the environment and Central's teachings. That's it. That's pretty much what it really just comes down to. But okay, so Soma does come out on top, and it does make sense to why he did win, and it does show he put a lot of thought into his cooking in this week's episode, especially with choosing the proper noodles to be able to stir-fry and use, in his, cooking. So I do think that at the very least, Soma is showcasing how much he has improved since the very beginning. He's not just winging it or anything like that. He is putting a lot of work into his cooking to where he can showcase that he has gotten a lot better as a chef. So yeah, Soma, he proceeds on, which honestly, let's be real here, we all expected Soma to win, even if the opponent was going to be very hard. The reason why is because he's the MC, and at the end of the day, he kind of does need to come out on top, at least towards the end. I mean, if he's going to lose, it has to be near the end of this Shokugeki. That's where it's got to be at. So, yeah, I don't think if he's going to lose, he was going to lose here in the first, round. Also, you hear that? That's some loud thunder. Sorry if you hear anything in the background, like thunder or rain. It's storming pretty bad outside. But okay, getting back on topic, though, basically, Soma, he wins, and also, as we know, we also had Ishiki, he won in the last week's episode. So, yeah, then we had the other person that was with them, the other seat of the Elite 10 that joined Soma's team. He also helped out, and he won his match. We didn't really get to see his cooking, which makes me a little bit disappointed. I'm assuming there's a reason to why we didn't get to see his level of skill or his cooking in this week's episode, most likely for something in the future, maybe, you know, for a future Shokugeki. It might be an entire episode focused on him, but he won, and his overall cooking, you know, match was skipped in this episode, which, like I said, is kind of disappointing. So, Arena, I love how she's so motivated, and she's very supportive of Soma. I mean, throughout this entire episode, you even had some of Soma's close friends questioning if he was doing something right or whatever. But out of all the characters, Arena was sitting there, standing strong, and not really questioning what Soma was doing, and actually started to pretty much cheer him on and have faith in him. It shows that Arena is really warmed up to Soma. She doesn't really think that he's incompetent anymore, thinks that, you know, he's not a really good chef. I mean, she's able to, you know, understand that he has his own way of going about cooking, and that, you know, she actually respects it quite a bit. She has faith in him. And so seeing that entire scene where she wasn't losing faith and had faith in him winning, and then at the end she actually tried to compliment him even though he wasn't there, I thought it was incredibly adorable. And once again, I'm just falling more and more in love with Arena's character. And as I said, I ship them a lot. I really ship Soma and Arena right now. I never used to really do that. I didn't really like Arena as much when, you know, the series first started, but I really started to warm up with her in Season 3 and all that, because she's just been so wonderful. She's been such a cutie and all that, and her personality has definitely become from, you know, an ice princess that's very stone cold to someone that's very lovable. It can be a little bit of a, you know, tsundere sometimes, but she is very lovable when it comes down to it. But, yeah, I guess let's talk about Azumi's reaction. So, Azumi, obviously, he's incredibly upset. I mean, he lost point blank. Like, he just lost all 3 rounds and all that, or all 3 matches that were in this first round of the Team Shokugeki. He was incredibly upset. He seemed like everything was fine when he was, you know, in front of everybody, but when he left and was walking away to take a short break, you could see that the man was very upset. He was biting his finger and all that, which just shows he's very stressed out, and he realizes he is losing. And so I do feel like before everything is said and done, that the man's probably going to do something very crusty. I can definitely see Azumi doing something heinous to where he cheats or something, because, I mean, this man doesn't want to lose. He wants to get, you know, Soma's father, you know, on his team. He wants to have it to where he works with him, so he's probably going to do anything he possibly can to win, so I can definitely see him potentially cheating. Even though these judges won't cheat, I could definitely see something happening to where cheating could potentially be involved, because we have seen it done before. But, I don't think the upcoming matches that are going to happen are going to be as easy. I doubt it, because, I mean, number one, this was just the first round, and as time progresses throughout this Team Shokugeki, not everybody's going to be able to win. That's just common sense, okay? People are going to have to lose. It can't just be a full-on wipe across the board. I mean, that would be bad writing, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know, just building up the Elite 10 for that long, and then have them stomp like nothing, all 10 of them, I feel like that would be just absolutely terrible. So, I feel like, at the very least, you're going to have it to where some of our major key players are going to get defeated, put down, and we're going to be like, yo, what? And it's going to build up the final matches of the Team Shokugeki, which I am excited for. I wonder if Arena is going to be able to make it to the end, or is she going to eventually be defeated, or is she going to be the last one standing? There's a lot of things I'm curious about in these upcoming episodes, which has me pretty freaking excited for Shokugeki no Soma. But, yeah, that's, pretty much about it. I mean, it's a very simple episode. I mean, we get a little bit more characterization for Nene and how she studied a lot. I mean, you know, Ishiki kind of lets us know from his own perspective that Nene, even though she was jealous of Ishiki for his, you know, talent and how he didn't really need to try as hard, at the very least, he knew that she really tried to be as best she possibly could, and is a very skilled chef and should not be underestimated whatsoever. So I do like that segment as well, that characterization we got for Nene. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And holy crap, that rain is atrocious. I am so sorry. But I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.